Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on March 22, 2023. It's half of what was shot at us, Kharkiv's Russian missile cemetery. Irish parents no longer have to pay for children's school books. BBC, free book scheme, primary schools to get €96 per pupil. RTEIE, fully confident €96 per pupil will be sufficient to make free schoolbooks available to all. The Irish Times, Irish parents no longer have to pay for children's school books. BBC, free schoolbooks, primary schools to get €96 per child and not to ask for parental contribution. Fox News and Dominion face off in court over 2020 election claims. The Guardian, Fox faces skeptical judge in Dominion defamation case. Reuters, Rupert Murdoch and son could testify as judge weighs trial for Fox News v Dominion. The Independent, Fox News producer accuses network lawyers of coercive coaching in Dominion case. The Guardian, Fox, Dominion urged judge to rule in $1.6 billion defamation suit ahead of April trial. Slovakia gets US helicopter offer after sending jets to Ukraine. Reuters, Cub, the anti-aircraft missile system from Slovakia set to protect Ukraine. Forces Network, Slovakia offered US helicopters for giving jets to Ukraine. The Independent, London ready to deliver jets to Poland to ramp up air defense. EURACTIV, this is also our war. Polish minister on sending jets to Ukraine. Will Donald Trump be arrested today? The former president's moving indictment timeline. The Independent, New York City braces for Trump indictment after ex-president urges protests. Donor, D-Trump News. CNN News 18, who is Alvin Bragg? Manhattan DA who could charge Trump. Evening Standard, Trump keeps accusing black prosecutors of being racist. Coincidence? I think not. The Guardian, will Manhattan DA Bragg charge Trump? Should he? French activists launch legal case over English-only translations at Notre Dame. The Guardian, French-language purists sue Notre Dame Cathedral for English-only translations. France 24 English, Notre Dame sued for English-only translations. German officer shot during raids targeting Reichsbürger movement. The Guardian, police officer shot in raid on German far-right group Reichsbürger. The Times, police officer shot at during German raids linked to far-right group. The Times of Israel, serving soldiers arrested in raid on citizens of the Reich network planning to topple state. The Telegraph, police officer shot as German authorities target the extreme right Reichsbürger movement. DW News. Trump attorney's 2018 communications with Stormy Daniels handed over to Manhattan DA. The Independent, Stormy Daniels' lawyer sends emails between her and Trump lawyer to Manhattan DA. MSNBC, Michael Cohen's long arc from Trump ally to chief antagonist. The New York Times, Trump ally Robert Costello claims he destroyed Michael Cohen's credibility before grand jury. The Independent, Manhattan grand jury hears from Trump witness. The Messi of Maths, Argentinian Luis Caffarelli wins Abel Prize. The Guardian, 2023 Abel Prize in Mathematics honors Luis Caffarelli. The New York Times, Argentine mathematician Luis Caffarelli wins 2023 Abel Prize. Waco, American Apocalypse Review, Gunfights, Dying FBI Agents, and Zero Analysis. The Guardian, Waco, American Apocalypse Review, Even in Death, cult leader David Koresh retains control. The Telegraph, Netflix Waco, American Apocalypse, how many people died in the Waco siege? Manchester Evening News, Waco, American Apocalypse Review, a calamity in context. The Wall Street Journal, led to the edge of the apocalypse, 30 years on from the Waco massacre. As AI booms, EU lawmakers wrangle over new rules. Ukraine war, Zelensky visits front line near Bakhmut as Russia targets cities. BBC, Zelensky visits Ukraine army positions near Bakhmut, France 24 English. France 24 English, Zelensky visits Bakhmut troops as Russian airstrikes hit Ukraine. The Times, Ukrainian president makes surprise visit to Bakhmut. Anadolu Agency, English, Ukraine updates, Zelensky visits troops near Bakhmut. A Tale of Two Visits, Kishida and Xi tread starkly different paths on Ukraine. The Guardian, Japan's PM Fumio Kishida meets Ukraine's President Zelensky in Kyiv. BBC News. BBC News, Japanese and Chinese leaders visit opposing capitals in Ukraine war. BBC, Japanese Prime Minister condemns Russian aggression on surprise Kyiv visit. The Telegraph, no country can afford to ignore the war in Ukraine. Visits by China and Japan to Moscow and Kyiv prove that. North Korea fires multiple cruise missiles off its east coast, South Korea says. Reuters, South Korea says North Korea test fires cruise missiles. The Independent, North Korea fires missiles as US, South Korea military drills end. NBC News, The Irish Times view on North Korea's latest missile tests. The Irish Times. The Irish Times, South Korea says North Korea test-fired cruise missiles. Friend who inspired Shamima Begum to join is mocks her as non-believer. BBC, Shamima Begum, friend who inspired desertion mocks her as non-believer. Somalis are dying because of a climate crisis they didn't cause. More aid isn't the answer. The Guardian, Somalia drought, 43,000 died in 2022 and this year's toll will be higher, study finds. The Independent, Somalia drought killed 43,000 last year, study finds. WION climate tracker, latest world news. WION, drought caused 43,000 feet excess deaths in Somalia last year, half of them young children. The Guardian, report, 43,000 died in 2022 Somalia droughts. When is Ramadan and who takes part in fasting? The Guardian, what you can and can't do during Ramadan from swimming to smoking. Liverpool Echo, how to maintain fitness during Ramadan. The Independent, Ramadan fasting rules, how do Muslims with chronic diseases manage their medications. Euronews, can you drink water during Ramadan and what to do if you break the fasting rules. IMF announces $15.6 billion support package for Ukraine. The Guardian, Ukraine to clinch first IMF loan to nation at war. BBC, Ukraine clinches IMF loan as report puts cost of rebuilding after Russian invasion at £336 billion. The Independent, what is the IMF? UN organization to loan Ukraine £12.8 billion. Evening Standard, Business Daily, war-torn Ukraine to receive first loan from IMF. At least 13 dead and nearly 300 injured after 6.5 magnitude earthquake jolts Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Independent, earthquake hits Pakistan and Afghanistan leaving at least 11 dead. The Guardian, earthquake in Pakistan and Afghanistan kills at least 19 people. BBC, at least 13 dead after earthquake jolts Afghanistan, Pakistan. Al Jazeera English, at least 13 killed as strong earthquake rocks Afghanistan and Pakistan. Ebola-like Marburg virus kills 5 people in Tanzania. BBC, new outbreak of one of the world's deadliest bugs kills 5 and has death rate of 90%. The Sun, Tanzania announces outbreak of deadly Marburg virus disease. The Guardian, 5 dead as Tanzania detects first ever Marburg virus outbreak. Al Jazeera English, Marburg virus kills 5 in Tanzania. Uganda set to introduce death penalty for aggravated homosexuality. Sky News, Uganda anti-homosexuality bill, life in prison for saying you're gay. BBC, Ugandan MPs pass bill imposing death penalty for homosexuality. The Guardian, Uganda increases prison sentences for homosexual acts and criminalizes LGBTQ+. DW News. DW News, deeply troubling, UN rights chief on Uganda anti-gay bill. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.